For those of you who know this flower, this is called lilacs. I was at mass this morning for the kids, and these kids are like from 10 to 20 years old, and I was telling them about the challenges of life and why they should aim at bearing fruit. No matter what happens, they should keep growing. Some of them will become teachers and doctors and pharmacists or whatever in the future. But let nothing stop them from growing. Why I'm showing this lilacs is because some years ago, my neighbor, if you see the neighborhood here, my neighbor saw this tree growing up here, and he said to me, hey, there's a fence here, I want to cut off this and all that. I didn't want any fight. So I said, okay, sure, you can cut it off. Now this was cut off to the root. But look at it blossoming again. Nothing could stop it from blossoming because it's a perennial kind of tree. And that's what we should be, perennial people who continue to grow. Even if they cut you from the root, that root will bear fruit. So when Jesus is telling us that I am the vine, you are the branches, now we can understand why Jesus uses that kind of imagery. Because he knows that once the root, the plant is rooted to the ground, it will continue to grow, and nothing will stop it. You are the branch. Even if anything happens to you, I still give you life. You may be transplanted, you may be moved to another station, and then because you have the grace of God in you, Jesus is with you. Nothing will stop you from growing. There was a friend who was being punished by some other person who wanted him to have a dirty life, so to say, to suffer. And he was sent from Umuahia to Kaduna on transfer, forcefully. He didn't like it at the beginning, but he was only 1 year in Kaduna. At that time, something like Peugeot was 5,000. He bought a new car in Kaduna where he was transferred. So the people who transferred him thought he was going to suffer, but instead of that, God blessed him there. So these images that Jesus uses will teach us that when something happens to you, don't be too excited, but be contemplative. Think about it and ask yourself, where is God here? We call it theological reflection. You reflect theologically on what has happened in your life and see what God is asking you to do and how to handle it. It may be a blessing in disguise. So I ask God to bless you and help you to theologically reflect on your own life and use the experiences of your daily life as ways of communicating with God, because He